Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to do permutations and combinations. Very interestingly, this is one of the topics that a lot of students are not very comfortable with. And in fact, when I was a student, I myself was not very comfortable. So we will not do the entire piece on permutation and combination. Instead, we will learn what permutations are today. And the way we are going to look at PNC, which is permutation and combination, is we will use principles of counting. Okay, we will use principles of counting. So permutation and combination is nothing but the way we are counting things under different circumstances, under different arrangements. That is PNC. That's all. It is nothing but counting in a specific way. So for example, if there are three chocolates which are given to us, right, and all the three chocolates are different, right? Say this is chocolate A, this is chocolate B, this is chocolate C, and we are said that at one point of time you can take only two of these three things. So what are the different ways in which you will be picking up, in how many different ways can you make your choices? So I mean, if it is ABC, we will see that either we will pick A and B, okay, or we will pick B and C, or we will pick C and A, right? So these are the only combinations which are allowed. Okay, here if we are picking A and B, the order of picking does not matter. So B and A is equal to A and B. B and C is equal to C and B. C and A is equal to A and C, right? So this particular this is a combination. You know what is in how many ways can we pick it? In three ways. If, for example, we said that no, you first have to pick A and then you have to pick B. In that scenario, A and B and B and A are different things. Then we would have said how many permutations are possible. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in short, that is, combination and permutation, very simply put. But what we will do is that today we will make you understand through a very simple fundamental example that how do we count these selections. So PNC is nothing but counting. So before you kind of get scared from the formulas and other things, it's important to understand that how do we count and the fundamental principle of counting is what. And I will use a very simple example. So for example, let's say there is this place, let's call it Delhi, okay. Then there is another place, let's call it Bombay. And then there is a third place, let's call it Kolkata. Okay. Now say from Delhi to Calcutta, there are only two flights that go from Delhi to Calcutta. But from Delhi to Bombay. And then from Bombay to Calcutta, there is flight 1, there is flight 2, and there is flight 3. Right? So basically, this is flight 1, this is flight 2. Let's call it flight A, flight B, and flight C. Now, if the question is that how many different ways can you fly from Delhi to Kolkata? Okay, and you have to land in Bombay. There is no direct way, obviously, as you can see, of flying from Delhi to Calcutta. So this is a classic question of counting. Okay, this is a classic PNC question, but it is a question of counting. Yeah. So for example, there are two ways in which you can basically fly from Delhi to Bombay, correct? Which is flight 1. Either you will take flight 1 or you will take flight 2. And then say you've taken flight 1, for example, you took flight 1, so that you use that one way, right? And then you reached Bombay. And then from Bombay to Calcutta, there are three ways to go, right? So once using one way you have reached Bombay, then there are three ways. And then twice you have reached, if you are using the flight 2 to reach Delhi to Bombay, then again there are these same three ways to use to go to Calcutta from Bombay. So in total 3 plus 3 there are 6 ways. That is one way of looking at it. Now you might think that if you've understood, it's great, but if you've not understood, I will explain it further. So that is one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it can be, once again, very simple counting principles. So Delhi to Bombay, say you use flight 1. We are using flight 1. We have reached Bombay. Now from Bombay, we will use flight A. We reach Calcutta, that is one way. Once again, say from Delhi to Bombay, we have used flight 1. But from Bombay to Calcutta, this time we are using flight B. Okay, this is the second way. Once again, we use flight 1 from Delhi to Bombay. And then from Bombay, we use flight C. Is there any other way using flight 1 that we could have reached from Delhi to Calcutta? The answer is no, because from Bombay to Calcutta, we have taken all the options. Okay, now let's see, what if we had used flight 2 to reach Delhi to Bombay? We have taken flight 2, and then from Bombay, we will take flight A, or we will take flight B, or we will take flight C. So in total, how many different ways? This is way 1, this is way 2, this is way 3, this is the 4th way, this is the 5th way, and this is the 6th. So basically, if this is the combination, these are the conditions, then under these conditions, there are 6 ways. Very simply put, if we were to use a formula now, how many ways are there to reach Delhi to Bombay? There are 2 ways. And then from Bombay to Calcutta, how many ways are there to reach from Bombay to Calcutta? 3 ways. 3, 2 into 3, 6 ways. And this is the formula that you will see in most of the books, without actually explaining that how this has happened. And sometimes it may leave you confused. And which is why my message to all the students is that permutation and combination is basically a way of counting. Okay. Under circumstances that will be given to you, so use that situation and then say that if the situation is to be satisfied, what are the different counts that I am getting? Okay, and this is basically called what we just learned here. This is called nothing but fundamental principle of counting. This is the fundamental principle of counting. Okay, so there is one more thing that I would like to add here. Let's go to this once again. Now say, the most important point to note here is the fact that there are 2 legs in this journey. First leg is Delhi to Bombay, and the second leg is Bombay to Calcutta. What you do in leg 2, right? What you do in the journey from Bombay to Calcutta is totally independent of what you have done in the journey from Delhi to Bombay. So these 2 events are independent of each other. I am not saying that if you are reaching Bombay from Delhi using flight 1, then you can only use flight B and flight C. That's a condition. But in the current scenario, we are saying that these are independent of each other. They do not impact the outcome of the second leg. Therefore, all the 3 options are available, and these 2 events, they are called mutually exclusive. In PNC, you will always hear this term mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means that whatever happens in the Delhi to Bombay part has no bearing on what is going to happen in the Bombay to Calcutta part, which means Delhi to Bombay and Bombay to Calcutta are 2 events which are mutually exclusive of. Okay, so that is what it means. All right, great. Now let's go to